Nike, Apple, Starbucks, Amazon, Coca-Cola. When you think about these companies, what do they all have in common? These are all companies that have successfully built strong brands. Have you ever wondered why people are willing to spend more on a pair of Nike shoes than they're willing to spend on a pair of Reebok shoes? It's because Nike has successfully built a strong brand. They've done so by tapping into people's emotions and by offering quality products. Today, I would like to address how strong brands are built. The first step in building a strong brand is to select the right name. There's several things that make a good name, a good strong brand name. The first thing is to select a name that suggests something about the product. Great examples of this are brands such as Snapchat or Silk. Right from the get-go, you have a little bit of an understanding what the brand is and what the products are that they're offering. Second, the name should be easy to pronounce and recognize. Also, the brand name must be distinctive. Another thing is that the brand name should be extendable. An example of this, because at first I didn't really understand what extendable was, but an example of this would be Amazon. So Amazon first started as an online bookstore, but they selected a name that could easily be expanded into other markets. Now we know Amazon offers pretty much any product in the world you can find on Amazon, and they selected a brand name that wasn't so specific that they weren't able to expand their products. Also, you must consider how the name is going to translate if you plan on having a global company. So you don't want to select a name that won't be able to be pronounced in other languages, or that may have a different meaning that you don't want to use in another language. And then finally, it must be a name that you can legally register and have legal protection over. The next step is brand sponsorship. So you have to determine if your products are going to be launched as either a national brand, a private brand, licensed, or co-brand. National brands are products that are sold and marketed nationwide and can be found in various stores. So an example of a national brand would be a product like Heinz ketchup. You can find Heinz ketchup in all different grocery stores around the country. It's not specific to one location, one store. Private brands are also known as store brands. These are specific to a store. Examples of these would be like Kroger has their private selection and Kroger brand products that can only be found in a Kroger store. Another example would be Costco. They have Kirkland brand products that can only be found in Costco stores. Store brands, just as a side note, are becoming more and more popular as people are trying to be more economical. So the store brands used to have a bad name, seem as like a lesser quality product that people didn't want to use, but that's not the case anymore. Sometimes people are even willing to pay more for store brands, so it's kind of an interesting fact there. Licensing, that's where names or symbols previously created in license are used for brand strength. An example of this would be like when you see toys or lunch boxes that have a character name on them, like a Disney character or something like that, and where they use that character's brand image to sell products. Co-branding is when two teams get together to make one product. A great example of this is Nike's iPod, the Nike and iPod Sport Kit. You take two very powerful brands, bring them together, and it creates an even more desirable product. Next is brand development. This is the next step in building a strong brand. Line extensions are when a company extends existing brand names to include another similar product. So a company must decide if they want to, when a new product's coming up, if they want to use it, if they want to do a line extension. An example of this would be like Doritos. They have 20 or more different flavors of chips, but they all fall within that Doritos tortilla chip product. Another is brand extension. Brand extensions are different than line extensions because with a brand extension, it offers a new or modified product. An example of this would be Nest. Nest started as a smart digital thermostat, and then from there they launched new products such as smoke alarms, home monitoring devices, all different kinds of products that still fall under the Nest brand, but they have new and modified products that they're offering. Multi-brands are when a company markets different brands with the same product category. PepsiCo, for example, has all different kinds of beverage brands. You've got just Pepsi, a very well-known brand. They also own Sobe, Gatorade, Tropicana. They have all different kinds of beverage brands, but those are all part of the PepsiCo company. Mars is another example. Mars has several different candy bars that they market independently. So there's the Mars bar. You have Twix, Snickers, M&Ms, all different kinds of candy bars that have different brand. They have their own individual brand, but they are in the same product category. And then the last option is to create a new brand altogether. So if a company believes that it's necessary to create a new brand name, then they will do that. An example would be Toyota. They made the decision to create Lexus since they wanted to create a luxury brand. And then also they created Scion, which was created in order to target millennials. So if a company feels like the existing brands that they have will not be able to adequately market or target the customer group that they're wanting to, then the option of creating a new brand altogether is available. So we've looked at selecting the right name, determining the brand sponsorship, and establishing the type of brand development. These are all very critical steps in building a strong brand. However, managing the brands once they've been established is equally as important. The products and services the brand offers must continually be communicated to the customers. Advertising is very important, but customer engagement and the experience that the customer has with the brand is even more important. So while you must, in order to get set up, you've got to get the right name, determine the right brand sponsorship, establish the development plan. All of these are very important, but at the end of the day, you have to continually market that product to your customers. You have to remind them that that product is out there, and not only that, but you have to give them a good product so that each experience and interaction they have with your product is a good one, and that will just continue to build the strength of your brand. In closing, I would just like to share a quote from a former Disney executive, and that quote is, "A brand is a living entity, and it is enriched or undermined cumulatively over time, the product of 1,000 small gestures."